Last time we left off, the party had finished a great battle with the Forgotten God, who ended up escaping during the aftermath. While everybody was recovering from the experience, the torso of the god's body seemed to have condensed itself into what looks like a dark red porcelain mask. The mask was picked up by Roland, who gave it to Maze so they can examine it. However, before they could do it, the temple suddenly started to collapse on itself. The party managed to escape no problem. Well, a few bumps and bruises here and there. But upon exiting the mine shaft, they found a rather unusual sight. Not just the blacksmith shop they originally went in, not only was that empty, but it seemed the entire town was empty. Nobody in sight. The party exit the shop and begun to track one of their horses down using Finwin as a tracker. It led them to an opening in the town, which revealed a large black stone statue of what looked like a knight standing with black wings. And as the party was investigating it, they were suddenly aware that they were surrounded by a large pack of werewolves. The party tried to make peace with the wolves by showing the party the totem they gotten from the pharaohs, which seemed to docile most. However, one still tried to lunge at them, causing the appearance of a human woman named Lucina, who quickly put the wolf down and put it back in its place. And she apologized to the group for the wolf and explained the situation after confirming who the party was. She revealed the, and she knew that. Bleh. She revealed she knew of Hillian, but didn't know what happened to him after the last message that was sent to her. She stated that the last message she got from Hillian was to look after the group that came out of the temple. Also went on to explain how the entire resident of the town simply vanished. Apparently, portals began forming underneath the people and took them away. Lucina suspected Hillian took them back to the Feywild, but wasn't sure why. She hinted at sending a few wolves to go check out on the Feywilds and quickly moved on. When Maze asked about Hillian, saying something was up with themselves and was going to go into detail about it afterwards, they were hoping that Lucina can explain more about it. She agreed. She agreed when the party rested up for the day, and the group exited on the city with Lucina leading the way, and set up camp on a nearby hill with a tree overlooking the town. There, Lucina explained about a prophecy that was written by a strange species of elves called the Loom Elves, who specialize in chronology magic. The prophecy stated that a child of the Raven, will bring about destruction to their timeline. They are fated to destroy not just their own time, but all of time itself. Beware of the child of ravens. They might have good intentions, but all roads lead to destruction. With the prophecy stated, Lucina decided to help the party kind of pick themselves back up by offering them drinks. The party indulge and it helped get their mood back to better standings for the most part. But everyone eventually retires for the night. A drunk Otis, a drunk Fenwin, and a almost drunk Maze went in back to the tent, sleeping soundly for the night. Okora not partaking, and Roland looking after Fenwin herself. So, there we resume. As one by one, the party begins to wake up groggily. Headaches for Otis, Finwin, and Maze. The drink was pretty strong, but Maze, you're a little bit better than the other two, but the other two, yeah, it's a rough wake up as y'all all wake up and slowly open your eyes. Finland, as you open your eyes and you begin to sit up, the first thing you notice is Roland is not there. Instead, next to you, you find a small box that seems to be made out of leaves and fibers, and on the box it has a letter.
I will pick up the box and look at the letter.
Okay. The As you open up the letter and read it, it says, "Hello, um, hello, Rain Dancer. You have had no idea how much it means to me to be able to sleep with you again. This one night has given me the drive to continue moving forward. You impress me like you always do with your training and your growing bond with the Melody Flies. I hope you continue to grow, and the next time we meet, I hope we can actually spar like we used to. Even how even how it usually ends, my little rain dancer. Anyways, I wanted to give you this new belt in honor of our reunion. I hope this belt's ability will help you like it has helped me. I will see you again in the near future, but there are things I have to take care of. Till then, I love you, my Melody. Oh, and sorry about the trouble I'm about to cause. Hopefully, it's not directed to you." And that's all it says.
It. All right. Fenman will open the box.
Okay. Upon opening the box, you find a smooth leather, like a dark brown leather belt, and it's very similar to your blink back belt that you're wearing. The belt that allows your daggers to return to their holster, except it has a dark brown leather texture into it and a small silver belt buckle in the shape of a dagger in front of a shield. That's kind of in the middle of the belt. And as you look over it, you see that there are um, there are multiple loops and sheaths and holes that you can fill it up with all kinds of throwing weapons, but it's more designed towards daggers per se. But it is there in all its glory for you. And picking it up, you do sense a strong magical properties coming from it. Kind of similar to your original belt, but there seems to be a lot more to it. So unlike your belt that you're wearing, this would require attunement. So you would need to take about roughly 30 minutes to attune to the belt.
All right. Can I go ahead and do that now, or do I need to?
Entirely up to you whether you want to do that now in the safety of your own tent.
Wait. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that now.
Okay. Then you cross your legs and begin focusing on the belt, kind of linking your mind to it. And this is the weapon. Oh, not the weapon. The item. I'll let you look over it.
Uh,
As my earbuds die. Give me one moment. See if you're working now.
oh,
Let's see if this works now. Testing.
Testing.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, is it just that link back felt upgraded?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so you're taking the moment to, as I get blinded, you're taking the moment to attune to the belt. Ooh, I completely forgot. That's on me. Maze.
Yes.
Yeah, we did leave off on you. I do apologize for that.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know you're very excited for it. So,
Grandma.
as you are kind of going back a bit, as you are sleeping soundly after a long, hard day, you find yourself back in the familiar realm of Egress, seemingly waking up next to Egress's stomach as his body seems to be curled around you, and you see he is looking directly at the wall that has the carved portraits on there. And you once again hear Egress's voice and go, "They have changed, Maze."
How?
You see he holds up his hand, and you see one of the carved portrait pops out and flies over to his hand and holds it in front of you. And this portrait looks very similar to your the first vision you had, the one where you were running towards a cliff and you jumped off, and you initially saw the live actual body of Egress that seems to pick you up out of the sky. It seems to be a portrait of it, but some of the details of it seems to have been crossed out. And you see a magical pulse seems to be coming from this little portrait. And you hear Egress go, "Look."
Okay. I follow his lead.
Okay. So, you once again look into the portrait, and as you're looking into it, you have the familiar feeling of your vision growing dark, and it seems to leave you drifting in the void. And all of a sudden, all at once, you find your vision comes in through what seems to be like kind of like looking through binoculars, but it still feels like you. But you see yourself running through the woods, cradling your right arm, and you are panting from exhaustion. You seem to be fleeing from something or someone. And as you're running as fast as you can, still holding your arm, you glance back and you try to hold up your right arm, which is covered in the familiar black and red steel plating, and a fireball starts to form before fizzing out. And you hear yourself go, "Shit, no more charges." And you keep running as fast as you possibly can until you reach a cliffside. And exactly like that.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
And you reach a cliffside and you look over, and you are panicking as you're looking around trying to see if there's a way out. And then you hear the sound of heavy footsteps getting closer and closer to you. And you hear yourself go, "Stupid God and his followers." And you feel yourself having an internal debate where you're at. And you hear yourself go, "Either jump to my death or get tortured to death." Choices. Before you slowly turn around and you see the stone knights, the black stone knights that you fought in the temple. begin stomping their way through the trees, and they halt kind of on the outside, about 30 feet from you. And you see they're filled with dark red magical energy. And then you see the very familiar Hillian stepping out from between them. And you hear, "Oh, Maze, it was a fun chase. But I'm sorry to say, you have to follow the rest of your friends and die." Oh, poor Cora, giving his life to let you last just a few more minutes. But don't worry, I'm taking good care of his soul. And as he begins to laugh, you feel yourself begin speaking in your head, and you hear yourself saying, "Igris, remember that deal you brought up a few years ago?" And you hear Igris's voice comes in, but it seems different somehow. You can't quite point it out, but it sounds a bit different. And you hear Igris go, "Deal. Oh, that. You can't be serious, Maze." And you hear yourself respond, "Well, I mean, do you have a better idea?" And you kind of look towards Hillian's direction, who is still laughing, having a crazed look on his face. And you hear Igris go, "Maze, I was being serious when I stated you won't be able to handle the magic, especially at your state." And you hear yourself respond, "Well, if I am to die, might as well go out with a bang." And you feel Igris's chuckle in your head, and you hear, "As you wish, Maze. If it's any comfort, it was my pleasure to know you for this long. I hope you will be reborn as part of my soul in the next life as a dragon." And you feel yourself nodding and go, "Agreed, old friend." And then you lock eyes with Hillian, and you see Hillian just stares at you and goes, "Oh, one last effort to fight? Oh, please do entertain me." And you give a grin as some blood is starting to drip from your mouth, and you hold out your right arm, and your arm is shaking a bit, and you hear Hillian go, "Oh, please, Maze. I know you are out of charges, and you are out of magic. That's just a hunk of junk right now." And you feel yourself beginning to laugh, and then you look at him and go, "Normally, you would be right. Hell, I am out of magic. But one thing I got," and you see the gauntlet begins to glow a very vibrant red, and soon a very strange looking fireball begins to form in your hand. Like, it looks unstable as it's trying to still form a spear. And you look at Hillian and give a grin and go, "I still got my soul to feed this thing. Hope you burn for at least a couple of days." As your whole arm explodes and a giant fiery explosion that you just feel the fire and the force just covers your entire body, cooking your entire body, and you find yourself being launched off the cliff, and you are falling far, far down, leaving a trail of black smoke. And as the darkness begins to take hold of you, and you feel the embrace of death, the last thing you see is a white bird soaring towards you. But not just any bird, a white raven. Before your vision goes dark, and then you are back in the temple, or in the in Egress's realm.
Oh. Okay. Great. Have you made any progress in understanding if these are possibilities or what is now set?
My theory is, I think they're possibilities. As you see, he takes the portrait and launches it back into the wall. It's mainly because two out of the three portrait, because there's a new one now, kind of alludes to your death.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe they are possibilities. Do you want to see the other two?
I think I have to.
As you say, Maze. You see, he holds up his arm, and the second portrait bursts out of the wall and comes flying to his hand. And you see, he holds it up to you, and you see the magical pulse emits from the portrait and begin latching onto you. Do you look in?
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing happens. Your vision goes dark, and as the vision comes back, you find yourself sitting at a campfire inside a cave. You feel yourself wearing a cloak wrapped around you, and you outside you kind of get the sense that this is a very familiar vision compared to the one that you had last time. However, when you look over to your right, you see a large male humanoid you know as Akora, who is covered in scars and looks to be missing his left arm. And he seems to be resting, leaning against his shield, with his eyes closed. But you know he's not sleeping. He's just kind of resting a bit. And to the left of you, you see a black plated armor humanoid. The familiar helmet with a crown fused in the helmet, covering on their face. However, the helmet is in a different shape. It seems to be in the shape to fit a dragonborn. You see two giant swords on either side of them, and you see the armor. It's very similar to the Black Empress and the Black Emperor armor. However, they seem to be slightly taller than the Empress, and seem to have a green scale tail coming out on the back of their armor. And across from you, you see Finwin. She appears to be wearing bandages wrapped around her left eye. And across her body, you see belts with loads and loads of different kinds of daggers of different designs. And you see she currently just looking in to the fire and kind of humming a tune as a small swarm of melody flies are kind of pulsing with the tune. And you then hear Akora's voice seemingly breaks the silence that was plaguing the campfire, and you hear, "With the god in hibernation right now from his battle with the matriarch, we can take care of the matriarch in her weakened state. She won't have complete control over the items, so Egress should be able to work fine. Right, Maze?" And you feel Akora's gaze looking at you, and you look down, and you seem to be playing with the silver ring of Egress in your fingers. Like, you're not wearing it, but you seem to just be playing with it, and you rub it gently, and you slowly nod your head, and you hear yourself go, "Egress is still resting. but he will come through. We already took care of L'Oreal. If it wasn't for Abby, we would have had her help as well. But what is done is done. You let out another sigh as you look towards the fire, and then you hear Finwin's voice goes, "Whatever the case is, we still need to do Plan C." And you see everyone grow stiffen at the mention of it. And you see Akora turn his head towards Finwin, and you hear him go, "Finwin, I am sorry for your loss, but you know that plan is dangerous." And quickly in response, you hear Finwin just scream out, "I don't care!" And you see she suddenly gets very quiet and looks down. And you hear her go, "I just want my husband and my baby back." And you see her go very quiet. And you look down and you let out another sigh until the black ruler, the black armored dragonborn, stands up and seems to be speaking in kind of two different voices at the same time. One of them you do recognize. And you hear the voice go, "Enough. We have been over this already. Plan C is the last resort. If you cannot see that, then Finwin, you will be left behind. Understand?" And you see Finwin with a scowl on her face just looks down. And you hear the black ruler go, "Good. It's time to go. With the last of my power, I'll boost all of you. Then we will kill this matriarch." And he holds out his arms, and you see the black magical energy begins going towards all three of you. And as you slowly start to stand up and start to prep yourself mentally and slipping the ring on, you then take notice of a flock of ravens strangely seeming to fly through the cave. And the last thought that hits you was that a white raven leading the flock? Before the vision ends. And you open your eyes and you're back in the cave with Egress.
Oh. Okay.
You feel Egress tense up, and you hear him go, "Maze, this is very dangerous.
What part of this?
We are learning about the death and the birth of people. If we let this get out, this could damage time. It could set a chain reaction that this potential future will happen. We have to be careful, Maze."
Yeah, we do. It's just it's there's a constant. I need to see the final one to be certain.
As you say, Maze. He flicks on the portrait that y'all were watching back into the wall and holds out his hand to the third one. And the third portrait bursts out of the wall and comes into his hand and holds it out for you as the magical pulse emits from the portrait and latches onto you. I'm assuming you're going in?
Yeah.
Okay. This third vision, it starts with you hiding behind a tree in a forest. You are out of breath. You are feeling sore all over your body. And you hear yourself in between pants just go, Oh, come on, Igris. Do you have to be so violent? And you call out loud, only to get hit with a breath of flames that covers the trees. And you hear yourself go, okay, okay, be like that. You feel yourself state before dark red scales covers your entire body, and you begin dashing to on the right, running through the flames as the flames seem to go around your scaled armor, and you are just booking it, and then dive behind the boulder that's nearby. And as you dive behind it, you turn and you see Akora, who seems to have burn marks all along his arm, and he is gripping his shield very tightly, and seems to be waiting. And you hear yourself go, "Oh, hey, Akora. Has Valerian calmed down?" And you look at the dark orange shield that Akora is holding, and you hear Akora go, "Yeah, kind of. It's. I think the sibling rivalry is helping me point him at Igris. But this is my last charge of Absorb. After that, I won't be able to control him." And you feel yourself nod and go, "Yeah, kind of figured. Shit. What about Otis and Finwin?" And you hear Akor go, "They made it out, and falling back with the Black Empress. They are meeting up with Abel. So, at least they'll be able to escape." And you feel yourself go, "Okay, that's good. How long do we got?" And you say on this as a giant red scaled dragon, a hand grabs hold on the top of the boulder that y'all both are hiding behind, and you see Igris is staring down over the boulder, looking at you with pure white, large eyes, just looking at you. And you both just look up to meet his gaze, and you hear a chord go, "Maybe 5 minutes? If we can reach 10, I think we can survive." And you see Akora quickly gets back to his feet and holds up his shield. And as you go behind Akora and you begin prepping a spell, you suddenly hear a loud roar echoes through the air, causing the trees to shake, the ground to quake. And Igris immediately shoots his head towards the sky. And then soon you see a large amethyst dragon lands next to Igris with a loud boom. And you see the large amethyst dragon just looking directly at you, y'all, with pure white eyes, flexing out her purple gem wings, and just locking eyes with both you and Akora. And then you feel another boom as a giant black scaled dragon lands to the other side of Igris. And this is a giant dragon, nearly doubling the size of the other two. And you have all three dragons just staring down at you and Akora. And you see Akora just kind of looking at all three and goes, "Well, Mace, I don't think we're getting out of this." And you look, you can't help but look over at L'Oreal and go, "Great, L'Oreal." And you look over at the black dragon, and the big black dick is here. "Well, at least the other got away. Maybe they'll get our bodies." You let out a weak chuckle before holding up your robotic mechanical right hand, and you hold it up, pointing at Igris, and you hear yourself go, "Well, Akora, it's been an honor, my friend." And you hear Akora go, "The honor was mine, Maze. Hey, 5 gold, I can at least get a scale from each dragon." Feel yourself nod. "I'll take that bet." And you feel yourself smile, And just as you and Akora begin to charge, all three dragons unleash their breath attacks against you two, covering both of your bodies with a mixture of poison, fire, and force that pushes you down into the ground. And as the flames cook your body, you are charred, you are cooked, you feel your skin melting away, and you feel your bones corroding. You are somehow barely alive, but you feel yourself fading. And you are staring up to the sky above. And as the world begins to grow dark, you begin to reflect on your life. And right before the darkness takes you, you see what looks like a white raven descending towards you. And the last thing you say is, "Odd. A raven that's white. Odd." Before darkness takes you and you are back in the cave with Egress. And you feel Egress is very tense. Like, he is very worried and everything. And you see his body seems to curl a bit tighter around you, like kind of in a protective manner.
Okay. So, a white raven seems to be the link between everything. I don't really know what. Because I don't know what to do.
You and me both, young Maze. If it's to point us in a direction, I say we should find out what this matriarch is.
It is a good spot to start, at least. We're gonna need help. And much as I don't think the others are going to like it. I think there's only one solid choice to ask.
Hmm?
I'm not certain of it yet, but
Well, in one of the visions, there was that black emperor, ruler, empress. I don't know. In one of the visions, they seemed close to you in a way. So they might know something about this matriarch.
that was my line of thinking, yes.
So does that mean we're going back to the Black Order?
Well, we told them we would send this mission for them, regardless, and then afterwards, we probably would be leaving. I think now at this point, at the very least, report in, maybe get information as our reward before leaving, or maybe we need to reconsider that. Don't know.
Very well, Maze. Not like I have a choice, but I will follow your lead, Maze.
Thank you. you have a choice. I mean, it's a bit more difficult, but I hear you.
Maze, whatever path we go down, I have already told you, I am gonna be by your side. So, as long as we work on freeing me from this prison, I will assist you to the best of my abilities, Maze. And it's only a potential future, but I'll try to make sure this matriarch doesn't take hold of me.
Yes, it's hard for me to believe that unless something else happened, that would be possible. I don't believe for a second that you would falter like that.
There's not many beings out there that can control the mind of a dragon, much less multiple dragons. Such beings don't exist. But who knows? You found a forgotten god, so who knows at this point?
This, this is true. Technically, we found two.
That's right. The first one was the one that chained me down, Maze. This one. This one just made me angry.
Yeah, I can say the same about both. There is too much. Too many things at work here.
You are telling me.
Hmm.
Either way, we won't get our help with you here. I'll keep looking into these portraits to see if I can discern anything else. And I'll let you know if they change or if we have another one.
Okay. Yeah, that is the best course for now. I'll do everything I can to steer us right, but I'm not exactly sure the direction anymore.
Trust your gut, trust your brain, and always trust your instinct, young Maze.
Hmm.
If not, we can always just start blowing shit up. That always sets my mind straight.
Yeah, that option is becoming more and more appealing every day.
Oh, I can feel your intense. Either way, call upon me whenever you need me, young Maze.
I will. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah. You see, he kind of loosened his grip a bit, like letting you loose it a little, but kind of still curls up around you, kind of like a cat. And you feel this the big warmth take over your whole body, and you feel yourself drift back off to the void until finally you open your eyes once again, and you see that you have found yourself back in the tent. You are awake now.
Oh,
As one by one, everybody else begins waking up. According to Otis, you both wake out and getting up and getting ready. And as you all three of y'all begins exiting your tent. Maze and Otis, y'all have quite a headache going on. Otis, you especially. Yeah. As all three of y'all walk out, you see the first thing you see is Lucina seems to be talking to another humanoid. This humanoid is a giant, 9 feet tall, pale skin, bald headed, with tattoos covering his entire body. Seems to be only wearing a loincloth and very defined muscular body. And he is like towering over Lucina. And you see Lucina, even though this giant of a man is still towering over Lucina, you see Lucina still has her arm crossed. And even in this giant difference, you see Lucina still seems to be the dominant person out of the two. As you see Lucina just looks at him and goes, all right, I'll be on my way. Get the pack ready to go. And you see the giant man go, of course, boss. And you see turns around and begins walking away towards the nearby forest. And you see Lucina just kind of grasp her chin and looks to be in thought before turning to you three and go, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And Lucina kind of just locks eyes with all three of you. And then, kind of, as he holds, she locks eyes with all three of you. And when she gets to Otis, Otis, you're locking eyes with her. And you see Lucina kind of just gives a reassuring smile towards you. And kind of gives you a nod. And then looks over to you, Maze, and seems to purposely hold your stare before motioning to the side. And you follow where she's motioning, and you see the spot where Laurie's body was set. Laurie is gone.
Um, but where did... Does anyone know where her body went? Someone move it?
You see Lucina just nods her head and goes, the man, Roland, along with two other green cloaked figures, came by and took Laurie's body. They said they're taking her to be buried in the Feywild, in her homeland.
Fucking snake. The place you didn't want to be. Where they take her home to bury. To cut off his finger.
And that's when you see Lucina kind of just looks over towards the last tent that hasn't been opened. Is Fenwin's tent. She hasn't came out yet. Fenwin, at this point, you're still not done attuning to the belt. You're still attuning to it because it takes a little bit.
Yeah, I figured.
Maze is trying to calm down. She's very angry.
Yeah, I think Otis probably sees
Fenwin was
that.
out there and realized what the frick he'd done. She'd pissed too, quite frankly.
But at this moment, Finway would probably just go like, my loving husband gifts me such beautiful items. Like,
And
he's
being kind of upset that he left without saying anything, but
that too.
husband.
Yeah, Otis probably sees Maze seething and turns to Cora, uh looking back and forth between both of them. Are we gonna go get her then? Is that what we're gonna do?
I don't. I don't think that is wise. But by the time we catch up to them, it's be likely too late anyway.
I know I'm missing a lot of the story here, but wouldn't uh Mr. Rowland have known that she didn't want that, right?
If he had any semblance of understanding of concept clues, yeah, he would.
And Miss Finland would have stopped him, right? If she knew.
I'd hope so.
Hmm.
I'll say at this point, Finwin, you do manage to attune to the belt and get access to all of its glory.
Well, I'm gonna switch over all my weapons and put it on and walk out of the tent.
Okay.
Very small wave from Otis.
Do I see like they're all like obviously staring at at my tent, right?
I don't know.
I am. Yeah.
Like can I tell that something's off?
I'll say it's very easy to tell that the atmosphere is very, very tense right now.
Did something happen?
Your husband took it upon himself to take Lara's body with him.
And he didn't even tell. Oh. So much of the bullshit that I go through with him, he completely avoided. If he would tell me shit. Oh my god. Okay. Great. Love that. Mm.
We
do
we
now.
have to tread carefully. And as much as I would love to go after them, I don't think it's the right course of action.
Fortunately.
I can't really say. I can't really say much. But there was more. And we need help because we lose. Every time. That's all I can say.
Okay. Mm. So, I mean, I have ideas for people that I know I could go to for some help, but against something like this.
Yeah, I think the best bet for us now is to go back to the Black Empress. At least to report that we completed our mission. It's only
Just you now, isn't it?
yeah,
Mm.
just me.
Well, I'm with you regardless.
If you think that's the best course of action.
I don't know what is, but at least that's a start, and arguably the most powerful option we have. W- We
There
never
wasn't one,
ran.
really.
We never ran into the other Black Knights, right? The ones that were supposed to be there too. I
No.
don't remember. I don't think we did. We never ran into them.
Only Matahari before y'all entered the town. You didn't run into anybody else.
Hmm.
It's concerning.
Right.
You
Well, oh boy.
go ahead, Akora.
No, I forgot.
Oh, okay. You see Lucina, who is watching the whole exchange, looks over at the group and goes, "Well, it looks, by the sound of it, it looks like you all have a destination to go to. I have to go back to my temple that I'm guarding because it seems to be making noises according to some reports. So I gotta go check it out."
Ooh,
Please be careful.
that's probably really bad.
It is very kind of you to be worried about my safety, but don't worry. I have been guarding this temple for nearly 600 years. My mother trained me for this. I will be fine. But thank you for your concern. I do have to say, Okora, you are making your ancestors proud.
I puffed my chest out a little bit. I held my head up higher.
Oh.
Happy smile. Appreciate that.
The Amber Eye clan is strong. You see, Lucina kind of just looks at everybody, looks at all four of you, and Alexa, I didn't say shit. Stop it. Sorry, weird demon named Alexa is trying to talk to me. You see, Lucina kind of just looks at all four of you, and just nods her head and goes, "Good luck on your travels. Stay safe." And I wish y'all the best of luck. It's been a pleasure to meet all of you. I hope the next time
Likewise.
we meet, it'll be under better circumstance.
Yeah. He's hoping.
Um, Miss Lucina, before we leave, I kind of found this in my when we were uh, well, and I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and have it take out that lash, the whip that we found back there.
Mhm.
And I kind of like have it hovering in the air. Um, w- uh, we encountered this back there, and I don't quite feel comfortable having it near anyone. Uh, what should I do with it?
Mm. I would say items aren't inherently evil, but you see, she kind of looks over at Okora's shield, then Maze's ring, then looks back at you, Otis, and goes,
Whoa.
I have been proven wrong before. If you don't want to test the whip, I can take it off your hand if you would like.
Uh, well, I'm very curious about it and its inner workings and all, but given my history as of yesterday and my extensive note taken so far, I don't want to test any more bad things. Thank you very much.
You see, Lucina takes a step closer to you, Otis, and kind of looks at you, places her hand on your shoulder, and go, Otis, what happened yesterday? We can't change it. You are not a bad person. I see goodness in you. I see kindness in you. And most importantly, I see curiosity in you. Those aren't bad things. Don't let this mishap, as big as it is, don't let it dissuade yourself. Otis, you will have a chance to redeem. But make sure the redemption doesn't come at a cost of who you are, Otis. Be yourself. Be smart. Be curious. Test anything and everything. That's how we get so much advancement. Hell, that's how the Rasa Kingdom is so advanced during this time. They test everything and try everything. And I would say you have some. You see, Luciana kind of motions over to the other three. You at least have some associates to help test stuff. Believe in yourself, Otis.
I thank you, Miss Lucina. I appreciate that so very much, and thank you.
That's a good lad. And she retracts her hand, and takes a step back, and looks at all four of you and go, well, I am off. Good luck, everybody. And you see she turns around and begins walking towards the forest, and then lets out a howl in the air. But this howl sounds 10 times louder than any wolf howl that you have ever heard, and also demonic howl that seems to vibrate the trees and the leaves. And after the long howl, about like a 20-second howl, soon hundreds of howls call in response. And you see Lucina just gets a big grin before dashing off towards the forest a lot faster than any human should be. And then all at once, she seems to jump forward and seem to run on all fours. And right before she seems to enter the forest, you see her form start to shift and fur begins covering her body. Her limbs and mass begins to expand. And the last outline you see of Lucina as she disappears into the forest is an outline of the biggest werewolf that you have ever seen. About a 20-foot tall werewolf that seems to just dive into the woods.
Oh,
Are we supposed to believe that she was human that whole time? That was not subtle at all, so.
What? I'm just saying that for comparison.
Lucina, I wonder what connection this character has to the moon.
Wait, what?
No idea what you're talking about.
I don't understand this reference.
Lucina has
there,
like a
Cora.
connectivity to
have a
Luna. It's like the night and the moon. I don't know. That was funny.
It goes over my head, like many things do.
Don't worry about it. I'm a nerd. I'm being a nerd.
Please continue. It's cute.
As y'all are finally left alone by Lucina, who seems to have disappeared into the forest, and you begin breaking down y'all's tents, getting ready for the travel. And then, Finwin, as you're finishing breaking down your tent, you stand up, and then you hear a, "Man, that lady was scary, wasn't she?" And you immediately look down, and you see next to you a small, dark-scaled kobold who seems to be dressed in black leather armor and have two daggers in his hand, and one of the daggers he's using to scratch the little brown puff of hair on his head, and just scratching it, and looks at you and goes, "She was scary. I thought Matahari was going to have to go her full dragon form to take her on, but thank
What?
God she left."
What?
Uh,
What? What the hell did you come from?
And then you
Who are
see
you?
the small kobold just kind of looks at all four you and go, "Hey, my name's Zeke. It's a pleasure to meet all of you.
God, you're adorable.
Ah, please, go on." My name is Zeke. I am considered, I guess by my title, I am called the Black Mist. And I believe... Maze! And you see you see the small kobold seem to disappear in like a puff of black smoke and suddenly reappear on Maze's like shoulders, like kind of his legs are kind of wrapped around your head, Maze, and you see she's the kobold just like hoisted up on your shoulders and kind of just picking through your hair and go, "Maze, we've been looking for you. You got some bugs in here."
Get the fuck off of me! What do you mean you've been looking for me?
"We've been trying to retrieve you." And you see Zeke jumps up and seems to teleport once again between Akora and Finwin, and lands between you two, and seems to be leaning against Akora's like knee, and just be like, "Man, y'all are hard to track. We were trying to track Minta, but she went off somewhere. Then we tried to track Lari, but we can no longer detect her life force. And finally, we tried tracking you, and we found you here, but no Lari. And apparently, it was a bunch of new people. I don't know any of these people. We tried to track down Abel, but he pissed off somewhere. But don't worry, we're still hunting him down. We'll find him sooner or later."
Assuming you're in with the I look at Maze, Black Empress.
"Oh, no. I don't report to her. I personally report to the Black Emperor. There is a key difference. I don't report to that bitch."
Sam,
Still
at
confused about
like the
names.
mention, I'd like to just ready it, have a dagger in hand. Like
Can I just pick him up?
You can.
that's an option too. I'm gonna have a dagger ready.
Okay. You pull
I'm gonna
out
just pick him up.
a dagger, and Zeke kind of looks over in your direction, and you go like, "Ooh, you have daggers too? I got loads!" And you see he starts pulling out like 5 daggers in each hand, and he goes, "See, oh!" And then gets picked up by a car, and
We're
goes.
just gonna put him on his shoulder.
You see, he kind of just get comfortable on your shoulder and like crisscross his legs against on your shoulder, and goes, "Wow, you're very tall, Mr. Lion Man. I don't know your name. What's your name?"
Nakora.
"Oh, it's nice to meet you, Akora." And begins patting your head. "Oh, is that rude? I'm sorry. I don't have any social
He just starts
cues."
purring regardless.
"Oh, you are a cat. Is this racist? I don't know if this is racist. I got some catnip if you want it." And then you hear
Oh God!
another voice calls out and goes, "Zeke, leave the giant lion alone. No catnip for him." And you see
I mean, I
another
would say no. but-
humanoid steps
We do
forward,
not need a high lion. Please.
steps
Oh my
forward
God!
with
Aw.
black plated half plated armor. You see the familiar, or mace I should say. You see the familiar dragon helmet that has a red plume out the bag, only showing off her mouth. The half plated black armor that's covering her upper chest and only showing her midriff, and step forward with her 2 swords on her hip. As you do see Matahari steps towards the camp and goes, "Hello, Mace. It's been a bit. Man, it's been just a few days, and this town went to shit."
Yeah. Well, what can you do? Hidden evils and all that, huh?
Ain't that the truth? Mm. But it's like Zeke said. My friends and I are here to. We're looking for you because we want to bring you back to base. Because I believe you might have something to report, or might have something for us. The Black Emperor is very interested. And as she's saying this, you see 2 more figures begin to appear and step forward. You see one figure, a very average size for a dwarf, standing forward, bald head, wearing black plate armor that's covering his entire body, except letting out his long dark brown beard that seems to have different types of bones interwoven into the beard that seems to be braided with each bone. And you see he seems to be holding a giant
That's cool.
double-bladed axe over his shoulder and just looking at everybody and just making eye contact with everybody before resting on you, Mace, and just giving you a light nod. The other person you see is slightly taller than the dwarf, a black, kind of black half-plated armor, who steps forward, and a long, like beautifully light blonde hair that seems to reach almost to the ground behind her. Seems to be the size of a halfling, who steps forward and looks at everybody and seems to be clutching in like kind of a vice grip a amulet that's wrapped around her neck, and she looks at everybody before looking at you, Mace, and giving a light nod. And you see Matahari just crosses her arms and goes, "Well, Mace, I don't know about everybody else, but you need to come with us. Everybody else, if you want to join, you can tag along. We won't separate anybody here. But for the purposes of this trip, we get Maze. We get to test out the new teleportation center if they have it working correctly. We don't know yet. So you want to be a guinea pig?"
We kind of stupid to separate us yet again.
Yeah.
So you're taking us back to speak to the Emperor?
Yeah, we're taking you back to the base. If the Empress is there, you will report to her because technically you serve her. Well, not anymore. I don't feel her mark on you anymore. That's suspicious.
Well, I died and came back. So
Ah, yes, that will do it. A soul coming back onto their bodies. Yeah, that can definitely do it. No worries. The Black Empress can put her mark back on you to help boost your powers. Or, if you want, you could serve the Black Emperor. And then you see Zeke, who is still on Akora's shoulders, who seem to be now just balancing like 3 daggers on top of each other on top of his finger. You hear Zeke goes, "Man, all right, we can't recruit. Only the Black Emperor gets to choose who his knights are." And you see Manahari go, "Oh, right, I forgot, because we are just so goddamn special. You are so, right, Zeke. Nah, keep playing with the cat and don't give him catnip." And you see Zeke, Akari, you look over at Zeke and you see Zeke go, begin to sheath his dagger, and then looks over at Manahari, and then slowly reaches in a pouch. And then holds up a little tiny bag which seems to be ground, like it looks to be a different color of light green and dark brown herbs. And you see he slowly just like nonchalantly holding it out towards you like a drug dealer, and just goes, here.
I'm just gonna gesture towards my mane. You can just stick it in there.
You see he kind of just parts your mane and stuffs a little pouch in there and just goes.
Oh my gosh.
I got catnip. Yes.
Don't use it
say that out
before
loud.
fights, please.
Downtime only.
Yeah.
And you see Mahari just looks at you amazed and gives you a smile and goes, "Well, are we going?"
I think so. I think that was the plan anyways.
Good. I so hope that we didn't have to do anything we all might regret. You 3, are you coming along?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So upfront and so quick to respond. I like that in a man.
Otis doesn't have a choice. He's coming with us.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab Otis by the arm and be like, "Yeah, no,
Oh,
we're not
well,
separating."
Here,
No.
would you please
No.
give me a moment? I've got to I've got to do some things because well, Cat's no longer with us, so if you just give me a moment here, I've got to get some things and odds and ends straightened out first. Just a moment, please. And I'm gonna infuse my leather armor using one of my infusions to give myself whatever it's called. Enhanced defense.
Ah.
And I will use my signet ring to turn it to a spell refueling ring. And I'm gonna drop my infusion on my rapier, and then turn my thing into an enhanced arcane focus.
Ooh, okay.
A little thingy for my spell book and stuff.
Gotcha.
I can do that.
As you're getting ready for the infusion, you see the dwarf man kind of makes a line to Dog, and kind of just stares at Dog and kind of looks Dog over, and you hear him go, "Good build."
In Dwarvish, I would play. Thank you.
You see its head snaps over towards you, Otis, and goes,
Yeah.
mm, and points over at Dog and goes, "You build?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was very inspired by a lot of the dwarven works before, so
Mm, okay, you come with. We teach you.
what? Oh, uh,
And
I mean, I don't like.
see,
Oh,
she immediately begins to turn around, goes to Matahari, and looks at Matahari and goes, "Human comes with." Matahari just looks and goes, "Oh, okay, Oltar. Yeah, that's what you want. I won't.
Nope.
Who am I to go against the Bonebeard tribe?"
Am, am I able to tell, like, vaguely what just happened there?
I'll say basically your background. You've seen this a couple times where a dwarf would inspect a an object, especially a object that a dwarf never has never seen before, which is rare in a lot of occasions. But it's more of like kind of scouting for dwarves, like kind of scouting to see like if there's potential to learn how to build something or and potential to teach something.
Yeah, I kind of just sit back and kind of giggle to myself a little bit at the interaction.
And you see Malhar just nods and goes, "Well, all right. If everybody's ready to go, I say we should uh, get on our way." And you see she turns over to the halfling next to her and goes, "Miss Elena, would you do the honors?" I mean, you see the halfling kind of looks over to Malahari and nods her head a few times in like rapid succession before turning around. And you see she pulls out what looks to be a gold uh, colored rod with a red ruby on the end and holds out the rod to the ground. And you hear the arcanic language begins to echo out from her voice, and you see the ruby begins to glow before shooting out into the ground, and you see a large magical circle begins forming in the ground, and you see Matahari just nods and goes, "Okay, working out so far." Zeke, and you see Zeke just go, "Huh?" "I need you, buddy." And you see Zeke kind of just, and jumps up in the air, disappears before reappearing on Matahari's shoulder. And you see Zeke kind of hanging off Matahari's like helmet, and it looks at her and goes, "What do you need?" And goes, "I need you to do a important mission for the Emperor." "Oh, okay, okay. What do you need?" I need you to fly." "I don't have wings." And you see Matahari just grabs the back of Zeke's cloak and then chunk him into the magical sword. And you see Zeke go, "Whee!" And as he enters the magical circle, you see he seems to disappear. And you see Matahari just goes, "Hmm. I think it's working."
But thinking is different than knowing. Or do we have confirmation that he's getting back there safely?
Yeah, one way to find out. But we might hurry. That only lasts for a minute, so we gotta go.
Yeah, I figured. All right. Fedra walks over.
Okay. Step into the magic circle, Finwin.
Yep,
Okay.
she's done. She's had enough already today.
Okay. You step through, and a weird magical scent. It feels like your entire body breaks down and gets sucked into the magical circle and seem to drift off. Everybody else, y'all going?
It does feel different than phased up.
Uh, uh, uh,
You see Oltar just
Looking.
looks back at you, Otis, and goes, and kind of grabs your wrist and goes, "Come on."
Oh, yeah. I'll go with him and have dog follow.
Dog follows you as you and the dwarf, along with Dog, just disappear, gets break down, and drifts off. Maze in the car.
The other, they went to go
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah,
There could be in chat.
disappeared. They literally disappeared.
Oh, alright. Then we will say that they also. Okay. Then, as everyone begins teleporting out and begins to break down into particles and seems to fly through space, y'all have no sense of awareness of what is going on. And suddenly, in a loud, thump. Finwin, you're the first one to come out on the other side, as it's a rough landing as you hit what seemed to be a stone floor, and you just hit the ground hard, like you fell about 10 feet from the sky, and you hit on the ground hard, and you just groan just out, and you look up and you find yourself in a large, about to say like 20 by 20 room that seems to just have torches all around the side of, like, along the edges of the wall, and in the middle is a raised platform with a magical circle that seems to be very identical to the one you just stepped through. And you see one door on the far end, and by the far door you see Zeke, who seems to be leaning against the door and looks at you and goes, "Hi."
Yeah, okay. She's gonna get up and walk over to Zeke.
Good call. The other should be. As you see, Oltar now lands. As he seems to, as he rapidly appears, you see he sees that he's 10 feet off the floor and just dives on roll until he's pointing his feet to the ground. And in a large crater, just lands in the middle of the circle and just. Human? Oh, as you materialize as you hit the ground as well, and you see you just out, and you begin to lift yourself up, and then hear as Dog falls on top of you.
Oh,
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 ouch.
oh.
You okay there, bud?
Maybe we need to put you on a diet there.
You see, the dwarf just kind of nods his head and strokes his beard before beginning to like motion y'all off the platform. And soon enough, Maze, Akora, more or less the same thing, falling flat on their face against on the pillar, as Elena and Matahari also seems to appear. Matahari comes in, and black metallic wings spread out of her back and seem to soften her landing as she lands on the floor beneath her. And Elena seems to glide down onto the ground. Such gracefulness as she kind of looks around. And Matahari just goes, "Ah, well, it worked. Well, fuck me. It actually worked. I'm thoroughly surprised. We gotta.
Fast travel, let's go. Fast travel.
Yeah.
Would I be able to speak with whoever devised this contraption?
Oh, sure. I'm sure they'll be more than willing to speak to you. But I don't know. That Reginald guy is a bit prickly. He might want something from you.
Oh, I have nothing to give, unfortunately.
Can't have his soul that belongs to us.
Oh, don't worry. Reginald kind of. You see, he kind of looks at the group and goes, let's just say he's a bard.
Oof, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
No,
yeah.
we cannot
No,
have
we're
him.
not letting
No.
Otis. No, Otis. No, you do not get to speak to that.
I'm just looking very confused.
Nope.
Uh,
No.
Is he the poetry kind?
no.
The written word?
So,
music?
Otis, I'll tell you later. Okay? Just trust us.
Wait, how old is?
We don't
how
want to.
old is
We don't.
Otis?
No.
He's in his late 30s, probably like 36, 37.
Is him being so innocent like
Yeah,
that?
but
that's
he
so
also has
ridiculous.
never drinking alcohol before. So do we really want to test that?
No, fair. Also, you're older than Akora is.
Much.
Akora's like 25.
You see, Malahari just kind of looks around and goes, yeah, stay away from that, Reginald, because, boy, he has a way with words. That makes me want to break his face. But, trust me, he sees everybody as his conquest. So,
Ooh.
I'd like to see him try.
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
to everybody besides Maze, please allow me to introduce the home of the Black Order. And you see, she begins to open up the door, and on the other side of this 20 by 20 room, you see it leads to a large hall that seems to be made of black stone that seems to go on for a good, I would say, 30, or not 30, about 60 feet down. And you see many doors are along the walls, and you also see what seems to be banners of a black flag with red swords that seem to be going crisscrossing behind a black helmet, like a black steel helmet with a red gem in the middle of the helmet. You see banners and flags representing this emblem, and you're seeing high glass windows that seem to make allow the sunlight to shine into the building. And you see Matahari kind of just looks around and just goes, huh, wonder where everybody's at. And then conveniently at this moment you see what looks to be a kind of a maid that seems to be running through out of a door and seems to be running down the hall, seems to be carrying some towels. And you see Matahari goes, hey, Eve! 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 And you see the maid immediately stops and looks over and goes, oh, Lady Matahari, it's a pleasure to see you once again. What can I help you with? And Matahari just goes, where is everybody? We got some new people. I wanted to show off. Oh, Lady Matahari. Yeah, not too long ago, a pack of werewolves suddenly showed up to our doors. And apparently, I don't know all the details, but the Black Empress is fighting. And Matahari just goes, wait, the Empress is fighting? That's from what I've been told. I'm running towels over to the battle, to the fight field, because she is sweating very much, a lot, and bleeding a lot. Like, the Black Empress is bleeding? Holy fuck! I gotta go see this. Y'all come with me. And you see Matahari just booking it down the hallway.
I'm gonna run after her.
Amazing. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. As
He's riding tide to flying speed.
Okay.
Let me use it. Think. Yes.
You're activating Withering Tide? Or Riding Tide? Withering Tide.
Look at this wither. What are we in Minecraft? Yeah.
Okay. As you begin, the melody bugs begin lifting you up in the air. You begin flying the extra 10 feet, quickly catching up to Matahari, who is just bounding down the hallway as everybody else begins filing out. And as Matahari is leading y'all down the hallway and takes a right turn and then a left, and then goes through these large double wooden doors, just quickly pushes the doors open. And that's when you hear the sound of a crowd that seems to be cheering and clapping. And then you also hear the sound of what sounds like growls and howls. And as the doors open, y'all all come out. You see what looks to be a ring of people that seems to be circling around in a courtyard that's like right outside these doors. And you see the ring of people, and you're seeing what looks to be the civilians maze that you have seen before the last time you were here. And you see guards all along the what looks to be the courtyard's wall, and who all have swords, not drawn, but they're at attention. And you see on the walls, you see what looks to be guards with crossbows and bow and arrows that seem to be looking at the fight. And you're hearing cheers, and on the other side of the civilians, you see what looks to be about 20 or so werewolves on the other side, or 20, I should say 20 or so mixed bag of werewolves, werepanthers, werebears, even that seem to be growling and cheering as well. As soon enough, you see what looks to be a fairly large werewolf that seems to get pushed out of the ring of people. And not only pushed, you see that the large werewolf seems to have been tackled out of the ring of people, and standing over the large werewolf, you see, for everybody else's point of view besides Maze, you see a dark-skinned woman with long black hair that seems to be tied up in a tight bun, ruby-colored eyes, and she doesn't seem to be wearing anything besides some loose pants, like loose cargo pants. And you see she is sweating. She has cuts all over her body. She is bleeding. And you see she is like giving a pounding, like fists connecting to the head of the werewolves. And Mage, you recognize this as being a very, very underdressed Black Empress. As you see the Black Empress just going to town on the werewolf, and you see the werewolf grabs the back of her hair and it tosses her to the side, and you see the Black Empress just skids across the ground before correcting herself. And you see she kind of stands up. You see she exhausted, like she is panting, and you see she goes, spits out some blood, and you see she has a big grin and goes, all right. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Oh, but I'm not done yet. And you see she just charges forward as the werewolf just seems to roar at the Black Empress and charges at the Black Empress. And what sounds like a thunderous clash that seems to rattle the windows near by. You see the Black Empress seem to lift up the werewolf, like straining her muscles that are starting to bulge out of her arms. Lift up the werewolf before it looks like she's power bombing the werewolf to the ground, just boom, and then seems to get on top of the werewolf and just wraps her arm around the neck of the werewolf and begins applying pressure. And you see the werewolf is like struggling, lifting her self up, like lifting itself up, and begin thrashing and slamming back down, like trying to slam the Black Empress onto the ground. But you see the Black Empress still holding on and seems to be applying more and more pressure. And then you see the Black Empress or the werewolf seems to go slack and start to lose momentum. and then before falling to its knees and then falling to the ground. And you see the crowd in the pack of wares goes quiet. And you see the Black Empress stands up and plants her feet on the wolf's back and just goes, all right. If the rest of your pack is like you, you can stay. And you see the pack. You see the werewolf just looks up at the Black Empress and kind of regaining consciousness and going, "Finish it. Take your position as the pack leader." And you see the Black Empress just go, "Oh no. I may be your empress, but your pack still needs you. I need you to represent the were people, whether they be werewolves, werebears, werepanthers. Hell, I'll even accept the were-rats. But I want you to lead them. But you also have to remember that you serve me in this greater purpose of unity. Can I trust you?" And you see the Black Empress takes her foot off of the werewolf and offers up her hand to the werewolf. And you see the werewolf just looks at the hand and goes, and as the werewolf is reaching out their hand to the Black Empress, you see their hand begins shifting back, and now you're seeing what looks to be a fairly tall human male with a long silver hair that seems to curl back, now disheveled to all hell. And you see what looks to be a light beard growing out, same silver color, and grasps the Black Empress' wrist, and the Black Empress pulls him up. And the giant human man, standing about like 6 feet tall, looking at the Black Empress, and the Black Empress just smiles back and goes, "That was fun. We should do that again." And you see the human male just laughs and goes, "I gotta say, kind of surprised you took off your armor and disregard your weapons." And you see the Black Empress goes, "Oh, well, I wanted to make this fair. If you were going to come at me with nothing but tooth and claws." And you see she holds up her human fingernails and gives like a toothy smile. "It's only right I do the same. I believe that's the rule in the pack, right?" And you see the human male just goes, "It's very odd that you know of our ways, but..." You see the human male just drops down on one knee and bows its head. And you see all the other people all kneel down towards the Black Empress. And you hear the human male goes, "My pack will serve you, Black Empress. Thank you for taking us in the order." And you see the Black Empress places her hand on the human's face and goes, "Good. I hope y'all can make good guard dogs for me and protect my people, as we will do the same for you." And you see, to everybody's eyes, you see a bright red magical energy that seems to come from the Black Empress's hand and seems to latch itself on the human and the human werewolf. And you see the human werewolf just kind of twist his head a little bit and gives a smile and goes, "As you say, Black Empress." And stands up, and the Black Empress crosses her arm and goes, "Good, good. Now, you need to get some clothes on, because you're making a lot of people uncomfortable. And we have some kids here, for Pete's sake." And the human man, standing in all of his glory, just goes, "Oh, right. Y'all are. That's right. We gotta get used to wearing clothes. I apologize, Your Highness. Pack! Let's settle in. And you see all the pack just cheers in the air and howls. And you see cheers from the civilians as they civilians are going to the werewolves and the werepanthers and the werebears and begin shaking their hands. And you see the civilians are like talking to them as each were person begins shifting back to their normal state. And you see among the pack there's a mixture of tiefling, half elves, humans. You even see one dwarf among there. And you see the civilians are all coming to them and shaking their hands and begin discussing with them. And you see the Black Empress just nodding her head and just goes, well, that's taken care of. I gotta remember to thank. And she turns her head and locks eyes with you, Maze, and goes, oh. Speak of the gorgeous devil, and she saw appear. Maze, it is good to see you again. Thank you for sending me these new allies of ours. And she walks over to you, Maze, and gives you a smile and looks at the other three and goes, and who are these people?
New friends. I'm the only one left.
You see the Black Empress kind of looks down and looks back up to you, Maze, and goes, it's a shame. I am sorry for your loss, Maze. On the short time I had the honor of talking with them, they were good people. I'm glad we had at least you, to live on in their memory. Now, you see she kind of looks at her sweaty, cut, semi-naked self and goes, let me take a bath, get washed up. And she looks at Matahari and goes, Matahari, we're going to hold a little meeting, if you catch my drift. You see Matahari goes, oh, are these people invited? You see the Black Empress just nods and goes, well, you know the rule. Only one of them that they pick can attend the meeting. Get Maze up to date and the rest of them up to date. I am going to take a bath. Thank you. And she walks by you, Maze, places her hand on your shoulder, gives you a slight squeeze before continuing past you. As Eve, the maid, just follows after her and goes, my Empress, Tao. And you see Matahari just turns her attention to you, Maze, and goes, so you sent the dogs?
I sent some of them, but I told him to convince his people to come here because it would be safer for them. They'd be accepted here. And it looks like he did it.
Well, you're very good at recruiting people. They're going to be good allies to us and good allies to the ultimate goal. Now, and then you hear coming from the crowd and go like, Maze, is that you? And then you see the familiar Farah family comes out from the crowd. I see Naraha begins walking out and looking over at the group and goes and just runs over to the group and outstretched his hand towards you and and goes, Maze, it's good to see you again. Akora, you too. It's a pleasure to see you once again.
Likewise to see you and your family hale and whole.
Yes, we just arrived here not too long ago. Yeah, it's a good thing our pack leader settle things with the family and the Black Empress. She's a very, very gracious host. I do have to say, she's very kind.
She is, yes. It is really good to see you. I'm glad that you were able to convince them.
Yes, me too. I'm very glad as well. And you then, Maze, you see coming out behind Naura's back, you see the familiar Neva, the young daughter to Naura, looks over at you and begins. It looks like she's about to sign unto you, but then stops and goes. Yeah, begins concentrating, pulls out like a little thin wire and points it at you. And you see she begins concentrating very hard, and you see a voice enters your mind and goes, "Hi." Before the spell ends, and you see Neva just, and you see she kind of looks at you, Maze, like expecting you, going,
Uh, I'll do it back. And I'll say, you got it?
You see Neva nods her head and goes, and begins sign languaging to you, and then stops and goes, pulls up the strand and begins concentrating. And you see Fiona, the wife, steps behind Neva and rubs her shoulder and pats her head before pulling her back. And you see Neva goes, and takes a step back. And Nara just laughing goes, she has been practicing that every day now. She's taking quite a liking to you.
I needed that.
Well, we needed this sanctuary, so I guess we can call ourselves even. Who am I kidding? We're gonna be forever in your debt. As same to you, Okora. Thank you for protecting us as long as you did.
It was an honor.
Now, where are the rest? Are they somewhere around here?
Unfortunately, no.
Why?
Let's just say our travels have been less than ideal.
You're Minta and Lari?
Yes.
Oh,
Our dragonborn friend is still alive, but he has gone off elsewhere.
oh, right. And what about young Lily?
She is safe with him.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. At least. I'm so sorry for y'all's loss.
Yeah.
Just nod. I don't mean to bring the mood down, but it is very great seeing you again.
The feeling is very mutual. It's good to see some new friendly faces. Yeah. Once again.
Oh, yes. I'm gonna introduce Otis and Fenwin.
The pharaohs look over to you, Otis, and Fenway, and goes, "Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you two. Any friends of Mason and Cora? It's a friends to the pharaohs. My name is Narha, and gives a light bow to you two. This is my wife Fiona, and Fiona kind of steps up and gives a smile and a light bow, and Neva steps up. This is my daughter, Neva, and you see Neva just gives a wave.
Give a light bow and also send one of her melody flies to kind of like float around the family group for a second and then come back to her.
As the melody fly flies over to the pharaohs, you see them Narha, Fiona goes, wow, and they're just looking around. Neva, on the other hand, you see her eyes kind of dilate a little bit, and you see she seems to be tracking one in particular. And then slowly raising up her hand, and it's about to swipe at the fly, but you see Narha like quickly slaps her wrist away, and you see Neva just rubs her wrist, and you see Narha just goes, "Don't bother her swarm. She's a very nice lady. You wouldn't want to make her sad." And Neva just kind of goes, just kind of looks defeated and just kind of shrinks in on herself a bit. But you see she's still kind of tracking the melody flies, especially the ones that are like kind of glowing. And you see she kind of still tracks them.
I'm gonna send one to boop her on the nose.
One like slowly goes over to her and boops her on her nose, and you see Neva just begins to go cross-eyed, just tracking it, and then goes. And Neva just falls backwards and then looks at her hand, and the melody fly is already flying away. And you see Nara just goes, I apologize for my daughter. She's still trying to get used to her instincts.
No problem at all.
That should teach her to keep them in check, huh? And you see Neva kind of just shrinks down a little bit.
Quite alright. If she ever needs something to chase, I'm quite willing to provide. And I'll call my swarm back to me.
Swarm comes back and you see Neva still tracking them, watch them goes back to you, and Neva just smiles and jumps to her feet and just nods her head. And you see Narha just goes, oh, well, I don't want to hold y'all up any longer. We're going to get going. The rest of the pack are starting to get settled in and get everything sorted. And you see...
You guys be safe.
Of course, we will do our best. We should be, from the sound of it, we are very welcome and very well protected here. So, thank y'all once again. Come on. And see, she, Narha kind of grabs hold of his wife's shoulder and his daughter's shoulder and begins guiding them away. And you see Neva turns around, looks at you, Maze, pulls out the strand, and begins squinting and concentrating as a spell goes off, and you see in your, you feel in your head a soft voice goes, "Bye-bye."
May smiles and waves by.
As the pharaohs walk away. And you see Manahari, who is watching the whole entire thing, goes, adventuring, you get to meet some interesting people. That was adorable. Well, either way, it's time for us to get going. Let's see. No offense to any y'all, but all of you stink. So
Cora lifts up his arm and just like sniffs, and she just kind of makes a stank mouth. Like, yeah, you're right.
please, we're gonna be holding a meeting soon to go over some important topics. The rules of this meeting, it's kind of an exclusive meeting. Only like certain groups are allowed to attend, and the rule is only one person of each group can attend this meeting. I will most likely go for my group. You four will have to decide who gets to attend this meeting. Making a wild guess and assume it's gonna be Maze most likely.
Most likely, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What if I don't want to?
Well, you're the one that knows what's going on.
Yes,
I mean,
that's true.
I am willing, but I do not know.
No, it's. I'm just tired.
We all are, but I understand. I can just imagine how, like, we are all just come in here, we're covered in blood, we're covered in dirt and grime and all this nasty shit. So it's just like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're all still like probably like completely covered in blood from the dwarf house, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Y'all have not bathed or rinsed. The closest thing y'all would have gotten would probably just wipe away some of it with
Oh
with
god,
like
my
a
mane's
rag
probably
and stuff.
pink.
But
My
yeah.
mane is pink.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Oh god.
And you see Matahari goes, well, Maze, you've been here before, so why not introduce your new comrades to the bathhouse?
Oh Lord. Um. Wow, that's a memory. Yeah. Okay. Well. Uh. Follow me.
I will see you soon, Maze. I got some things I need to attend to, so farewell. And you see Matahari gives y'all away before walking off as the other three begin following after her.
Okay. And I don't remember where it's at.
No, I got you.
Or just
But-
very quietly whisper, hot shower, bath.
So, Maze, you begin guiding your new comrades and guiding through. And to everybody else, this is the first time y'all are seeing that as y'all turn around and you're about to re-enter the large double doors, y'all look up and you see that the building that y'all are in belonged to a large standing castle. It seems to be nearly. It seems to be in the process of renovations. Like there's still some towers and pillars are still being constructed, but it looks nearly done. And you see, as you entered, you're seeing more guards are filling up the ranks, like filling up patrols, and you see servants are running back and forth, like maids and butlers are running all over the place trying to keep everything clean. And maids, as you're walking, a lot of the servants, like the maids, are looking at you and give you a nod and bow, mostly in form of recognition than anything as they walk by. And you guide the group down the hallway, passing by a few corners until you get to the familiar bathhouse. And y'all enter the doors, and you see the first room that y'all enter is a large, basically close, resembling to a locker room scene. You're seeing many like shelves and cubbies where you see people. A lot of them are already filled, but you see there's enough openings for y'all to put your stuff away. And you're already seeing people are in this locker room are in the process of taking off their clothes and folding them up neatly and putting them in the cubby before taking a towel. And some are wrapping around their waist or wrapping around their shoulders. Some don't even care and just flip the towel around their shoulder, like over their shoulders. Some are like wrapping around their head, like around their hair, and proceeding to go into a glass sliding door off to the side. And the door is open, and you see like a plume of steam seems to be coming out of this room. And for all the new people, y'all look down, kind of caught off guard from all the potentially naked people, because these people are like a mixed bag of different races. You see tiefling, halflings, elves, half elves, gnomes, Goliaths, humans. You seeing?
Are,
Oh, go
are
ahead.
the gnomes wearing like floaties or something?
Some of them are.
Aw.
As you see all of them, it's a mixed bag of different races, different genders, and different ages, as they all seem to be very comfortable with each other, as a lot of them are just walking around, and they all, most of them look at you and go like, oh, hi, and keeps walking. And for the new people, you'll look through the glass doors, and you see in the other room, you're seeing what looks to be a large bath, like a large bath, like a stone tiled, kind of a jacuzzi like bath that seems to be bubbling, some showing off the heat from one. You're seeing a nice chill bath that seems to be like a cold bath to on the other side of the tub. And you're seeing stools along the walls, and you're seeing what looks to be these this like weird pulley system that if you pull on it, some water will come raining down on you. And you're just seeing people are just coming in and out. Some people are getting dressed, some people are getting undressed. But that's what y'all see. What do y'all do?
I want to go take a shower because I'm gonna feel bad about dunking a bloody body in the fucking pools.
Okay, so
Yeah. Yeah. If I was quickly gonna turn to Otis and be like, so this is bathhouse.
Of course, Sakura stashes his catnip in a satchel, in his bag. He's not gonna lose that.
How you doing, Otis? You doing good?
Oh no.
In the past 2 days, I've seen so many things that I never in my life thought that I'd see.
Yeah. All right. Just try not to stare too much.
I
Let's put the towel over his eyes.
I am going to not be in there. Thank you very much. I just and you see him fiddling with his clothes, and I'm just gonna like magically tinker with my clothes to make me smell better.
You have to take a bath.
Please. No, you should really take a bath. I'm sure that
Come
they
on.
have private space. Do they have like extra showers so that we're not getting blood in the communal pool?
I
I think
have.
he said the showers were separate. Right?
the showers are in the same room as the tub, but they're just along the side of the walls, like kind of a little bit away from the tubs, but they're still in the same room.
Do we see anybody else who's covered in blood?
It's just kind of awkward because we're all literally drenched in the stuff. So putting it in the like public bathhouse.
I'll say make a perception
feels
check.
kind of icky.
Okay, you're looking around, and you do see that there are a couple people that seems to be covered in like dirt and grime and mud. Some people are covered in some splotches of blood here and there, but a lot of them are like purposely going to the shower first, like rinsing themselves off to get most of it off before going into the bath.
Okay, we're doing what they're doing.
Yes. You'll be alright, Otis. Just don't look at anybody.
Just look
I'm
at the
not
wall.
looking at anyone right now. His eyes are on the floor.
I'm gonna just put
Oh,
the towel. I'm
honey.
just gonna gently wrap the towel or put the towel over his face and just guide him towards the shower.
Where are you taking me?
So he can get clean.
Like you...
Making sure he doesn't see a giant lion butt.
Okay, so
Pretty
Cor,
sure it's
you said that you stripped down and you're getting ready to go in.
yeah.
Fenwin?
I have a towel around my
I'm,
waist for now.
I'm gonna get someone's gonna go ahead and strip down as well. I think she probably wouldn't bother all that much with covering herself up since everyone here seems pretty chill. So she'll just strip and throw the towel over her shoulder and walk to the showers.
Maze? Maze?
Damn.
Echoes?
He died. Oh,
Sorry,
there he
my
is.
dad called me.
No worries.
Alright.
What'd he call you? Sorry.
What was that? Last I heard was about what wrapping a towel around Otis. That was the last thing I caught.
Oh, everyone's currently stripping down to go into the bath. Although I don't know the status about Otis, but I'm checking on you first.
Maze is gonna, but Explicit's gonna go to this the same spot where her and Minta and everybody else were at the first time we were here.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
No.
No, just shatter my heart like that. It's fine.
Otis. So currently you have a towel wrapped around your head, and you're kind of getting pushed by Okora. However, you are still dressed.
Oh, no. Okay. So I was gonna, do that after he decided to get undressed, but I'm currently naked.
Okay.
Oh
So
yeah, he is not undressing.
We could either do this with you with your clothes on and you take a quick shower, or you could take your clothes off and we could actually relax for once in our goddamn lives.
I was quite relaxed until we came to the bathhouse with all the people flopping about.
Well, you need to take. You need to
Oh,
get clean,
hon.
stinky.
I
Do
smell
you want to keep your
wonderful.
clothes on and just take a quick shower?
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah, okay, we'll do that then.
I was gonna say we just drench him in the shower.
We'll keep the clothes, just
throw him in
drench
the
your
bath.
clothing.
Just
Fine.
I just throw him in the bath with his clothes.
Boy is older than Akora, and Akora is more like, yeah, whatever.
I love how the only moment that Mel decided to chime in because she's listening is for this.
It's the most
Absolutely.
important
This
moment.
Of course.
It's important. Yeah, exactly.
Of course. This high anime moment. All right. So.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
gotta keep the boy safe.
Okay.
and clean. Hygiene's important.
So Otis, are you fighting them from pushing you forward?
As long as they don't try and start undressing me, yeah, I guess so.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
take
were
your
saying-
goggles. If you have goggles on, I'm taking them off your head at least.
He would have definitely put them on,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Okay. You guys push all
He's got
four
to
of
see
you.
in the water.
All four of you enter the bathing room. And as y'all enter, you see a lot of people kind of turn y'all's direction, seeing three naked humanoids that have walked in with a fully dressed human walking in as well.
Oh.
And you see all of them kind of just tilt their heads, and then you see you hear one of the people who are kind of just relaxing in the tub go, "Oh, hey everybody, we got someone who's a little nervous. First time here." And they're like, oh, of course. And you see all of them immediately just
That's so sweet of them.
like, nearly everyone immediately turns their back towards you, Otis, like immediately turning away from you. And you see the one who calls this out, looks over at the group, gives a thumbs up before kind of dipping his head down and just relaxing there with his eyes away.
Oh, this place is kind of great, actually. What the hell?
Come on, Otis.
They're not looking. It's okay.
I won't look either.
You, of course, if you're not comfortable taking your clothes off, that's okay, but like, really, you should really get clean. We're all a little.
You could just see like Akora's mane is actively pink, and he just steps under the water, and now it's just slowly turning white again after he starts cleaning himself.
Yeah, that's so bad.
I just kind of look at Bear and like nod. Well, not the bear, dog, and I give him a little nod. I have him go into like attack mode and like stand up to give him even more coverage.
Oh, sweetheart.
And he'll just start unbuttoning, and as you do, like see him do it, like you see this lightning scar like run down his left side of his body.
Oh, poor
And he
sweetheart.
does this like active turn to try and like keep the rest of you all from like seeing too much of like the bar. So
You see Bear immediately
Yeah,
shifts to his attack form and begins covering, like getting in between Otis and the rest of y'all, and just locking eyes with all y'all, just going.
Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and turn away since it's obvious that Otis does not want to be looked at the moment, and she'll go ahead and step underneath all the shower heads and start rinsing off.
Okay. It's each one of you go under one of the shower heads and begins pulling on the levers and letting the water hit your body. The water is very warm, like very hot to the touch, and you see against the wall, you see what looks to be two different runes, like rooms in like seem to be carved into the wall. One is bright red and one is light blue. And upon examining it, once you touch one of them, you see the temperature of the water begins shifting to like either a hotter or colder degree, depending on which one you press.
That's actually a really smart way
Oh,
to
that's
put
so
showers, dude.
fucking cool. I love that.
That's a good
Okay.
concept. I'm stealing that.
So as y'all press and adjust the water temperature to your liking, you are finally just basking in this oddly advanced bathing practice. A shower that seems with the water almost imitating rain that washes all over y'all's body. Y'all can finally take a moment to just and breathe.
Yeah, Fenwin is living for this.
And just kind of let the water run down y'all's body, run down y'all's hair. Akora, you're making sure to get all the pink coloration out of your mane. And getting a lot of it out, and
I'm going full deep cleanse.
and you're trying your best, and some of it's like a little bit more difficult to get some of the stains out. But then you see a Goliath woman steps up towards you, taps you on the shoulder, and goes like you turn towards her, and you see she has like very long like hair that seems to go down to the lower side of her back. And it's very long, and she goes, "Here, love, try this." And she hands you like a vial, and goes, "Just open the vial, pour it on your mane. It should help with the cleansing process. Trust me, I get blood stains in my hair all the time. It really helps."
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Of course, it's my pleasure. And you see, gives a thumbs up before heading over to one of the baths, and you uncork it and pour it in your mane, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I am so curious as
Here's
to what the
shampoo.
beef is now. Oh my god.
Also, I genuinely thought you were going to mention that she had bigger boobs or something instead of her hair, and I was kind of relieved.
Bigger
Not gonna
boobs
lie.
than you? Like,
Well, I mean, my tits are fine, but like just big boobs in general, because I'm so used to people like having Goliath with big boobs, and that'd be the first thing mentioned.
I may
I play
be
with the character.
throwing y'all into anime moments, but I gotta be tasteful in this.
I appreciate you more than I can express.
Just don't be slipping. Anyways,
What the
Dexterity saving throw.
Anyways.
Oh, they caught me so off guard. What the fuck?
anyways, you uncork the vial and pour it in your main. And as you pour it, you feel the liquid begin to bubble up and foam up to be this white, puffy, like bubble-like substance that seems to go through your hair. And you begin like scrubbing the bubbles out, and you see very, like magically induced. You see a lot of stains become, like very cleanly getting out of your mane, and your mane seems to be getting like a very bright shine to it, like it seems to be sparkling as you continue washing off the rest of the blood stains.
What do they call this? Mane and tail?
Do what?
I was making a joke about there's a shampoo brand that's called
Head
Mane and
and
Tail.
I was thinking Head and
Fantastic.
Shoulders, but
It's an actual brand that I sell at Walmart.
He's into us.
But yes,
So y'all continue showering, and it is an option if y'all want to go into the bath or not.
after
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
relatively cleaned up,
condoms.
fuck yeah, I'm going into the bath.
Same.
Also gotta put like the bubbles on my face like a little beard.
Maze and Otis, are y'all going to the bath?
yeah, Mace went to the spot already, like immediately when they got in there.
Right. Otis? No? Okay. No, I got you. Otis,
Boy,
with you,
nervous.
Otis, with you, as you're nervously letting the shower just wash over your body, even with all the nerves and the slight shame of your scar and worriness, and with everything that happens, there's a bit of you, however small or however big as you allowed, there's a bit of you that's actually breathing due to the shower as it just washes over you, cleaning up all the grime and the dirt from you. And you're kind of just there, just letting the droplets hit your face and just doing your best to, at the very least, relax in this brief moment. The rest of y'all go into the bath. Maze, like you said, going to the familiar spot. You sit down and soak in. Akora and Finwin, y'all head into the bath. And which one are y'all going to? There's the hot bath and there's the cold bath.
Anyone would probably go to the cold bath.
Okay. Akora, hot or cold? As he mute his mic, I'm assuming cold or hot.
What?
You going to the hot bath or the cold bath?
Hot.
Hot. Okay.
I'm just trying not to make a lot of noise.
I got you. So, Akora, as you sink into the hot bath, you're just letting the water soak your body, and you feel the warm water just, it seems to seep into your pores in your skin, and you like suddenly feel all your muscle tension just relax, and you just
I'm gonna be so fluffy after I dry off.
you can't help but just lean back and press your back up against the tile of the bath, and just sink there. Then when you go over to the cold bath and you test the water, and it's very cold, but as you slowly sink in deeper, you're seeing a lot of other elves are in there as well, and a lot of them are just relaxing. Some of them are having their eyes closed, and some are chatting a little bit. But as you sink in, you feel the water covers your entire body, brings it down a few temperature as you feel your whole entire body relax, and just let you just be in the moment and just relax there. Maze.
Uh,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I completely forgot about this detail that I gave Fenwin. That something that's a little irregular is she does have like a a tattoo kind of going up the side of her rib cage, which she got as like it's something that Roland would also have mirrored on the other side of his rib cage if he were here.
Totally noted. So, Maze, as you're relaxing in the tub and leaning back, and you look at your new comrades, Akora, and kind of next to you, just relaxing in the bath. Otis still underneath the shower head and just doing his best to relax. You see Finwin sinking in the cold bath. You let out a sigh and relax, and you look forward, and you can't help but think back. You see, looks to be an image of Laurie, who is also sinking in the bath, just relaxing. You're seeing an image of Menta standing proud, her standing on the side of the tub with her hands on her hips, giving a big smile at the little prank she's pulling right now. You can't help but also see an image of Abel leaning against the door on the outside of this room, not wanting to come in. And you can't help but just think of them as they're all there, seemingly with you, still in your memories. As you relax, look at your new comrades, and do your best to go on. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh.